One question I've gotten a lot is why isn't Kakashi married and why doesn't he have any kids? After all, it seemed like everyone took part in a massive orgy after the 4th Great Ninja War ended because Boruto's entire generation was born around the same time. The only ones who didn't get married or didn't have any kids were Shino, Kiba, and Kakashi. However, what if I told you that this almost wasn't the case? In today's video, I'm going to share with you all the love story of Kakashi that you likely have never heard about. Shortly before Kakashi became the 6th Hokage, Kakashi underwent one final mission as a ninja before he formally accepted the role of Kage. He was essentially to become a bodyguard on an airship that the Land of Waves had created. This airship was taken over by members of the Armament Alliance who were inspired by Mamoru Uchiha's ideals, and I've already done another video explaining their motives which you can check out on this channel. One of the ninja on this ship who Kakashi had to fight was Kaio, the woman who would wind up capturing Kakashi's heart in the midst of the chaos that ensues during the Kakashi Heat novel. From the moment Kakashi laid his eyes on her, his attraction to Kaio was pretty clear. Inari's grandfather Tazuna notices Kakashi's attraction to her immediately, going so far as to state that he should find a woman to settle down with and go ahead and formally accept the position of being Hokage. He goes as far as comparing settling down with a woman as the same as being Hokage, since they're both commitments that require you to place your love for someone else above your own desires. Kaio was written as being stunningly beautiful. She had long curly hair and her eyes were described as being piercing. Her clothes were the standard shinobi attire, but they were described as being white as snow, which is pretty clever given the fact that she has extreme mastery over ice release. In fact, the woman who captured Kakashi's heart was able to go toe-to-toe with Kakashi when they fought. At times during their battle, she was able to gain the upper hand without much effort. There are moments during their fight where it can be argued that she held back, mostly due to the fact that she began to form a strong attraction towards Kakashi, arguably falling in love with him the longer that she was in his presence. As a further testament to her power, during the prologue for this novel, she managed to hold off a suppressed one-armed Naruto Uzumaki. Her strongest jutsu is the ice release consecutive chains of ice jutsu. This jutsu, either through physical contact or remotely, can cause ice particles to form on a target. On the mere whim of the caster, the target can be frozen to death, though molding chakra at a constant pace offsets this jutsu, but only for as long as the target can coat themselves in chakra to keep their body temperature warm. Though, once the target of a chakra runs out, they will freeze to death unless the jutsu is undone by the caster. On top of this, she's able to form ice weapons by freezing the particles in the air. Her skill in taijutsu and ninjutsu was great enough that at the end of the novel, she's actually able to beat the 4th Hokage in a training match. Like a lot of Naruto characters, Kaio has her own tragic backstory. During the fight with Kakashi, she briefly gives into her emotions when she shouts at Kakashi that her son was killed. Kaio left the Hidden Mist village because her son being born with ice release. At the time of his birth, those with ice release Kekkei Genkai were still frowned upon by those in the village and the surrounding areas. Kaio's hate for the ninja villages comes from the fact that her son died, and when he died there weren't any doctors in the village to treat her son because they were all removed from the village to serve the 5 great nations during the 4th Great Ninja War. The memory of her child dying causes Kaio to freeze a man to death after he makes light of the fact that Kaio allowed a mother and child to leave the airship because the child was sick. She does so, all while keeping Kakashi in the ice jutsu I mentioned earlier. It's during the conversation with Kakashi where she shares the details of her story that her heart begins to melt. Kakashi makes her realize that she become a person that her son wouldn't have been proud of. She become the very thing that she hated most, a murderer. In their very next fight, Kaio purposely lets her guard down so Kakashi can kill her, but Kakashi catches on to her intent at the last second. In the end, after Kakashi's confrontation with Inoki, Tsunade steps in with the intention of having Kaio be severely punished for being a high-ranking member of the Armament Alliance and for causing the Hidden Leaf Village to lose a lot of value in the eyes of the other nations because of this incident. However, it is here that Kakashi tells Tsunade that he will formally take up the position of 6th Hokage, effectively relieving her of her duties, and then instead of having Kaio be put to death, that she be allowed to run the ninja prison. Kakashi explains how her ice chains work, and his very first act as Hokage is ensuring that she's given a reduced sentence in exchange for serving the 5 great nations by running the prison system. In the months afterwards, Kakashi stayed in contact with Kaio by writing letters. Though they never got the opportunity to have a formal relationship, there was a lot of development between these two. Kakashi rescued her from her darkness, brought her back from wanting to die so she could join her son in the afterlife, and after the two share a brief moment, she only agreed to take up the position to serve the 5 great nations after saying she will only do so if Kakashi asked her to. For Kakashi, Kaio is what pushed him to formally accept the position of Hokage. Up until this point, Kakashi had only agreed to become the 6th Hokage in name only, but in the months afterwards, he never formally took up the position for reasons I've already discussed in 3 other videos that you can find in the Naruto Explained playlist. Kaio, in a way, is responsible for Kakashi finding the courage to face the challenges that awaited him as Hokage. Also, hearing her story left a man like Kakashi, who had seen damn near everything that there is to see as a ninja, left in stunned silence when she shared her emotional story. The bond that they formed was enough that Kakashi was able to rekindle her desire to live, and by staying in contact with her, he's likely still in both her mind and in her heart. Finally, when you look at it objectively, their relationship couldn't have worked. He was the Hokage, and she was the former criminal of a terrorist organization. So, what did you guys think? Would you like more from the Kakashi Hiden novel? And would you have watched this if this was in the Naruto Shippuden anime, when the anime was going through adapting the different novels? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video, guys. Have an awesome day.